So guys, here I am. I'm Joseph again, your licensed teacher by profession and a student nurse as well. So yeah, ito yung part 2 natin ng This is my part 2 of the the Anafi anthology part 2, the chemical bases, and yeah, these are the ions, the electrolytes in the human body with a bit of a legend here sa gilid. Pag naka-black siya, those are major electrolytes. Pag naka-magenta or somewhat basta magenta, dark purple, or like dark red, or dark pink, those are acid-base regulatory ions. Pag naka-violet, it's for bone and intracellular architecture. For dark blue, violet ganito. Yeah. So dark blue is trace minerals, and for the teal ones, the other anions. So for now, here's the thing. The first major electrolyte is calcium. That is a need for bone and teeth mineralization and the blood coagulation cascades. Kasi nga guys, ang calcium ions natin is your clotting factor 4. Okay? And the neurotransmitter release, kailangan rin siya. And for your muscle contraction, if taas ang levels niya ng calcium sa ating body, hypercalcemia. Pag hypercalcemia, kidney stones, bone pain, fatigue, arrhythmias, and even hyperthyroidism. Those are the signs. Whereas, pag decreased level siya, tawag natin dito hypocalcemia. Hyper, mataas. Hypo, decreased levels. Hypocalcemia, muscular spasms, your tetany, which is seen through your Chvostek's and Trussell's, and prolonged QT intervals. By the way, I'm a QT. Nag-joke ako guys. Yeah. So in addition, those things are for calcium. The second one is for potassium. This establishes resting membrane potential of your cells that is critical for cardiac electrical conduction and your muscle function. Pag mataas ang level sa ating body, hyperkalemia. Okay? Pag sa hyperkalemia, those have peak T waves, muscle weakness, bradycardia, and can lead to ventricular fibrillation, and at the same time, your asystole. Pag baba ang potassium level sa ating body, hypokalemia, which is seen through muscle cramps, hyperreflexia, and your paralytic ileus, and the presence of your U waves. For the third major electrolytes, that is your sodium. Your sodium regulates your osmotic pressure, extracellular fluid volume, kasi nga mas taas ang concentration ng sodium outside your cell, and the propagation of your action potentials in your nerves and your muscles. Pag mataas ang levels ng sodium, hypernatremia. Okay? Hypernatremia, some of the signs or symptoms, kumbaga, are cellular dehydration, neuromuscular irritability, and confusion, and in severe cases, coma and seizures. Whereas, pag baba ang level sa ating sodium, that's hyponatremia. That causes water to move into cells. Therefore, ang result is cellular swelling, which is makikita natin sa symptoms, which is headaches. Actually, symptoms guys is ganyan lang yun siya. Pero I made it SX to disambiguate all of us guys, kasi nalilito rin tayo when it comes to a lot of abbreviations, like yung PT, pwede siya pregnancy test, pwede rin siyang patient, pwede rin siyang prothrombin time, diba? So yeah, for PX, ang dito disclaimer lang, PX dito sa notes ko is for patient and SX is for symptoms, just to give you a glimpse or just to give you a heads up. And for your chloride, another major electrolyte that works alongside your sodium to maintain osmotic pressure and your fluid balance, and it's essential for producing your gastric juice, which is your hydrochloric acid. Pero pag taas ang levels ng chloride natin guys, it's hyperchloremia. Hyperchloremia. Yeah, nabubulol ako sometimes. It is caused by severe dehydration, metabolic acidosis, and it causes lethargy and your weakness. Whereas, pagbaba ang ating chloride levels, hypochloremia, which is caused by severe vomiting, and it leads to metabolic alkalosis and shallow breathing. So yeah, for the acid-base regulatory ions, your hydrogen and your hydroxide. Sinama ko siya dito guys kasi nga it is a measure of your blood pH. Oo, yeah. Ito na yung sinasabi ko, hydrogen and hydroxide, those two dictate pH of your body fluids. The balance of free hydrogen ions determines whether blood is in its strict homeostatic range. Kasi nga, ang normal blood pH is from 7.35 to 7.45. And your hydroxide serves as the counterbalancing base in your aqueous environments. So, kung ganito siya, kung mataas si hydrogen and baba si hydroxide, acidosis, meaning your blood pH is below 7.35. And ang effect nito is it depresses the central nervous system activity, leading to disorientation and maybe coma. Whereas, pag baba ang inyong hydrogen levels and mataas ang inyong hydroxide levels, alkalosis ang tawag, which is manifested by your blood pH higher than 7.45, and it causes overexcitability of the nervous system that makes you have your peripheral numbness, muscle spasms, and even convulsions. Okay? Your bicarbonate, your HCO3 with a minus sign on top. That's your body's chemical buffer in the extracellular fluid, and it absorbs excess hydrogen and it prevents rapid shifts in your blood pH. Pag mataas si bicarbonate, metabolic acidosis caused by severe vomiting, excessive antacid ingestion, and even diuretic use. Okay? Pag baba ang levels, metabolic alkalosis, commonly seen in your DKA or your diabetic ketoacidosis, CKD, chronic kidney disease, and your severe diarrhea. And another acid-base ions is your ammonium. Your ammonium, that's a toxic byproduct. Alam natin yan, nakakalason yan na gas of protein metabolism that the liver normally converts into urea. Whether, or shall we say, in addition, kidneys also secrete your ammonium directly into urine to help eliminate excess hydrogen ions from the body. Pero pag mataas ang ammonium levels, ang tawag sa kanya is hyperammonemia. It occurs in liver failure and your urea cycle disorders because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. Excess ammonium causes hepatic encephalopathy characterized by confusion, flapping tremors, even your coma and brain swelling. Those are symptoms. Pagbaba si ammonium, low urinary excretion that points to renal tubular acidosis. Okay, those are for the acid-base regulatory ions. For the bone and intracellular architecture, your phosphate. Bakit? Ito yung chemical formula ng phosphate ions. It forms the backbone of your DNA and your RNA, your deoxyribonucleic acid and your ribonucleic acid. Those are, di ba yung genetic natin yun? Di ba yung genetic things, kumbaga? Oo. And yeah, that's what makes us who we are. Yeah. And it's a core component of your ATP, di ba? ADP plus your inorganic phosphate. I dapat yan dyan. also your ATP. Yo. So yeah, kailangan talaga si phosphate dito sa ating body. Pero, pag mataas si phosphate, it is caused by your chronic kidney disease and it binds to calcium ions causing metastatic calcification. And pag baba si phosphate levels, it leads to cellular energy starvation and it causes muscle weakness, rhabdomyolysis, impaired oxygen delivery to the parts of your body by your red blood cells, and even your rickets or osteomalacia. Your magnesium. Okay, your magnesium, guys. Yeah, your magnesium ions, that's a vital cofactor for 300 and more enzymatic reactions, particularly in those utilizing your adenosine triphosphate. And your magnesium stabilizes your cell membranes and acts as a natural calcium channel blocker in your nerves and muscles. Pero pag mataas si magnesium, ang tawag sa kanya is hypermagnesemia, which diminishes neuromuscular transmission, which is manifested by symptoms like loss of your deep tendon reflexes, hypotension, respiratory depression, and even cardiac arrest. Okay? And for your hypomagnesemia, if baba ang magnesium levels, it causes severe neuromuscular hyperexcitation, similar to hypercalcemia, that leads to tremors, vertical nystagmus. Nystagmus is the misalignment of your eyeballs, di ba? Torsades de pointes, or your lethal cardiac arrhythmia. Sinosyal lang yan siya, guys. Oo. Sinosyal ko lang siya ng pag-pronounce. Okay. Copy ko na to. Okay, good. So, balik tayo sa laser pointer natin, guys. Yeah. So, dito na tayo for the trace minerals. Bakit trace minerals? Maliit lang ang percentage ito sa body natin. Your iron. Alam natin yung guys, yung iron. Oo. Yes, yung iron. Oo. Yung plancha. Ay, hindi pala, sorry. Nag-joke ako, guys. Tawanan niyo ako. Yeah. Your iron is a critical functional ion in your hemoglobin and your myoglobin for oxygen transport. And it's a essential component of your cytochromes in the mitochondrial electron transport chain. Pag mataas si iron sa ating body, ang tawag sa kanya is hemochromatosis, and it generates highly destructive free radicals and deposits in organs, and it causes liver cirrhosis and even cardiomyopathy. Pagbaba si iron levels, alam naman natin, guys, your anemia na may iron deficiency na variant which results in your microcytic and your hypochromic RBCs, your red blood cells, your erythrocytes, which is manifested by your chronic fatigue, pallor, pica, and brittle nails. Okay ba tayo dyan, mga guys? Opo. Yes. Okay. Let me do this thing muna. Okay. Shing! Wow! Magic! Okay, your zinc ions, guys. Your zinc ions. Your zinc ions is a structural or catalytic cofactor in proteins, including your zinc finger transcription factors involved in your gene expression, wound healing, and immune function. Pag mataas si zinc sa ating body, acute toxicity causes nausea and vomiting, and even chronic excess impairs the absorption of your copper. That leads to secondary copper deficiency and even neurological issues. Pag baba si zinc sa ating body, it causes growth, retardation, delayed sexual maturation, impaired wound healing, immune dysfunction, dermatitis, which is sa skin yan siya, inflammation of the skin, basta may itis, inflammation yan, alam mo, and dysgeusia, which is the loss of taste and smell. Dito muna tayo. Your iodide. Yeah, your iodide ions, guys. Your iodide ions, it's utilized by the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, guys. Sige lang, mag-release lang ako ng endocrine system. Studyhin ko muna ulit yun. To synthesize your T3 and T4. Your thyroxine, your triiodothyronine. To regulate your systemic metabolism. Pag mataas si iodide, it can paradoxically shut down thyroid hormone synthesis, which is the wolf shake-off effect, or trigger your hyperthyroidism, which is the Jod-based effect, and predispose individuals. And pagbaba iodine deficiency, it leads to goiter, yes, and hypothyroidism. Pag severe deficiency ng iodine during your pregnancy, that sums up into this irreversible congenital iodine deficiency, which is your cretinism. Okay? For your copper, yung nasa wires good natin, oo, meron yun siyang trace amounts dito sa body rin natin, which is defined by a vital cofactor for enzymes, which is your coproenzymes, including your cytochrome oxidase, which is assigned with the energy production, and your lysyl oxidase, which is associated with your collagen cross-linking. Pag mataas si copper, Wilson disease, which is a genetic defect that prevents the biliary excretion of copper that causes it to accumulate in the brain and your liver, leading to neuropsychiatric symptoms, cirrhosis, and even Kaiser-Fleischer rings in the cornea, or Fleischker. Correct me if my pronunciation's wrong. Pagbaba si copper levels, it causes microcytic anemia due to impaired ion transport via your ceruloplasmin, because your ceruloplasmin has copper in it. And your neutropenia and your skeletal abnormalities, and even your Mencken disease, which is a genetic defect causing systemic copper deficiency. Okay? Here tayo guys. Here tayo sa other anions. Your sulfate guys. That is essential for your sulfur containing amino acids, which is your cysteine and methionine, and your glycosaminoglycans in your cartilage. Pag mataas si sulfate sa iyong body, excess intake can cause osmotic diarrhea, which is rare. And pagbaba si sulfate, it disrupts connective tissue development and cartilage integrity. For your fluoride. Wala akong ma-joke. Yeah. Your fluoride, guys, it displaces hydroxyl groups in your bone and enamel to form fluorapatite, making teeth resistant to acid demineralization. Yeah, demineralization. And pag mataas si fluoride sa'yo, it's that fluorosis, and it causes mottling or pitting of your tooth enamel and skeletal deformities, which is manifested by your crippling bone pain. Pag mababa si fluoride, increased susceptibility to dental caries, which is your cavities. That's why di ba most toothpaste may fluoride na ingredient, because that's for your teeth. That's for the structural integrity of your teeth. It makes your teeth grow stronger, be more resistant to your acid stuff, because we drink acidic stuff, we eat something bad, we do things, we eat things, and it would negatively affect your teeth in some point. That would be very much it. And yeah, your manganese, yeah, it's a cofactor for enzymes in your amino acid, lipid, and carbohydrate metabolism. Pag mataas si manganism, which is a neurological syndrome resembling your Parkinson's disease, and ang symptoms is tremors and rigidity. And pag baba si manganese, it leads to impaired growth, defects, and lipid metabolism. For cobalt guys, ganito siya. Diba cobalt is toxic in nature? Yeah. The free elemental cobalt. It's a metal, by the way. Yes, it's a metal. Pero meron siyang trace amount sa ating body. Pero yun siya. Because your cobalt, guys, that's a core element at the center of your vitamin B12, which is your cobalamin, which is required for your blood cell maturation and your myelin synthesis. Pag mataas si cobalt, your polyvera, your polycythemia vera, which is your overproduction of your red blood cells, cardiomyopathy, and thyroid enlargement. Pag baba si cobalt, your pernicious or your megaloblastic anemia, and your subacute combined degradation of your spinal cord. Wow, ang dami. Package siya, guys. Yeah. So yeah, Another trace element in our body is selenium. Yeah, this is the formula, the ion itself. It incorporates into proteins as your selenocysteine and is a crucial component of your glutathione peroxidase, which is an associated with antioxidant defense. Pag mataas si selenium, it causes hair loss, brittle nails, peripheral neuropathy, and your garlic breath odor. Okay. Pagbaba si selenium, which is associated with your Cushing disease, which is your fetal cardiomyopathy, and your Cushing-Bach disease, which is your osteoarthropathy. Okay? Pag si molybdenum guys, it's a metal. Oo, it's a metal, pero may trace pa rin siya. Oo, may trace pa rin siya. Gaya nung iniwan ko ng ex mo, may naiwan pa siya mga gamit na binigay niya sa'yo nung mansari. Kasi, wala, illogical. Illogical ang OA ko. So, yun. Yeah, your molybdenum, it's a metal, by the way, and it's a cofactor for critical enzymes like your xanthine oxidase, which breaks down purines into your uric acid, and your sulfite oxidase. Pag mataas si molybdenum, it can interfere with your copper absorption and induce gout-like symptoms due to elevated uric acid. And pagbaba si molybdenum, ito yung sakit. Your molybdenum cofactor deficiency, which is associated with a severe genetic disorder that causes neurological damage, seizures, early death, early out, and feeding difficulties in your newborns. And lastly but not the least, your chromium, not the browser, It's believed to enhance the action of insulin, and it assists in cellular glucose uptake and your lipid metabolism. Pag mataas si chromium, guys, yung occupational exposure natin, your occupational exposure, ay mali. Okay. Serena, ito na. Oh, diba? Okay, alisin muna natin yan. Pasensya guys, sometimes nagkakamali tayo. Yan. Diba? High tech. Sige, balik tayo. Pag-increase ang levels ng ating chromium, yung occupational exposure natin from your chromium dision, which is a carcinogen, it causes severe skin ulcers and your lung cancer. And pagbaba, impaired glucose tolerance, insulin resistance, and elevated blood lipid profiles. So those are a lot of ions. This one. Yeah. For the normal electrolyte levels, your sodium, it's at 135 to 145 milliequivalents per liter, or megamol. Basta, this one per liter. SM megamol. Lap trip, guys. In the serum and your plasma form. For your potassium, 3.5 to 5.0 milliequivalents per liter, or same pa rin siya, mmol per liter. Megamol. Di ako nakamove on sa sarili kong joke. Huy. Your chloride levels, pangit ako mag-cursive. Your chloride levels, it's 98 to 106 milliequivalents per liter, or this one, 98 to 106 in the serum or plasma form. For your calcium, iba siya. 8.5 to 10.5 pag total. Pag ionized or free calcium, it's 4.5 to 5.6 milligrams per deciliter. Okay? Or your mmol per liter. Okay? For your magnesium, ito yun siya. Your 1.7 to 2.2 milligrams per deciliter, or your 0.7 to 1.0 megamol SM, per liter in the serum or plasma form. Your phosphate, your 2.5 to 4.5 milligrams per deciliter, or 0.8 to 1.5 megamoles. I love to call it megamoles. By the way. And in the serum or plasma form. For your acid base, guys, your acid base systems, your hydrogen and your hydroxide, that's roughly 35 to 45 nanomole. Oh, nanomole. Yeah. Per liter. Correct me if mali ako. Yeah, your bicarbonate, that's your 22 to 28 milliequivalents per liter. Oo. Diba? Your 22 to 28. Tapos, may normal, yung sa arterial blood gas, guys. Yun siya. Your ammonium, the normal, as plasma ammonia, is 15 to 45 micrograms per deciliter. Or, your 11 to 35 micromoles per deciliter in the plasma form. Okay? Your trace minerals, your iron, which is your 50 to 175 micrograms per deciliter in your serum. Zinc is 70 to 120 micrograms per deciliter in the plasma or serum form. Copper is 70 to 140 micrograms per deciliter for the serum. Iodide is from 100 to 199 micrograms per liter, which is through 24-hour urine. Fluoride dapat less than 0.1 milligrams per liter in the plasma form. Ultra trace ions. Your sulfate in your free serum or as free serum, this is the level. Normal levels, 0.3 to 0.4 megamoles. I love to call it megamoles. Yeah, ang OA ko. Your selenium, 70 to 150 micrograms per liter in the serum form. Manganese, 4 to 15 micrograms per liter in the whole blood, using the whole blood. Your molybdenum is 0.1 to 3 micrograms per liter in the serum form. Your cobalt, guys, using your serum vitamin B12 or your what you call your cobalamin. Yeah. It's 200 to 900 picograms per milliliter. Chromium in the plasma dapat 0.1 to 0.5 micrograms per liter. And your free elemental cobalt is toxic and it should be low sa ating body. Ito na siya. That's the level. Dapat less than 1 micrograms per liter in the serum form. So yeah. That will be very much it for the ions. We'll go up sa the moment. Kasi dinintak na nakatawa talaga ako dito sa mga yung dalawa guning ka sa dinintak na yapits yung yung joy to the world. Yung nakakanta ko ng ganun. Laugh trip ako nun. So yeah. For your inorganic chemistry, don't panic, it's organic. Your inorganic chemistry, guys, that deals with your substances that don't contain carbon. Yeah. It focuses, guys, on the study of the properties and behavior of compounds that lack carbon-hydrogen bonds, and it examines substances derived from non-living matter, including your metals, minerals, and your organometallic compounds. Yung parang for example, guys, yung study natin of how table salt structures its crystal lattice or how iron rusts when exposed to air. Diyan siya fall under inorganic chemistry. Whereas, your organic chemistry, don't panic, it's organic. That's the study of your carbon-containing substances except these ions. Okay? That contain carbon but lack the bonds. Yeah. Yung molecular structure ng ating plastics, petroleum products, and even glucose molecules. Kasi nga, anong pagkakapareho ng tatlong yun? Yung plastics, petroleum products, and even your glucose molecules, may carbon. Oo. Therefore, mapafall siya dito sa organic chemistry. Your water. Yeah, your water. Drink your water, guys, by the way. Ang taas ng levels ng mga people here in the Philippines with chronic kidney disease. Drink water, guys. And have a healthy living, please. Yeah. Your water is a clear, odorless, tasteless, chemical compound. It's a liquid compound. Yeah. It's composed, guys, of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom covalently bonded. And alam niyo guys, yung water, yung tubig natin, that's your universal solvent, okay? Bakit universal solvent? majority of the things here on earth, mahalo siya with water. Okay? That's essential for all known forms of life, guys, and exists naturally in solid, liquid, and gaseous states on earth. Yeah. Your hydrophilic molecules, guys, those are water-loving. Yeah, they love water, guys. Like your table salt, white sugar, ethyl alcohol. Okay? Pero pag hydrophobic, takot sila sa water, guys. Like your vegetable oil, candle wax, and motor grease. Yun siya. Okay? And may dalawang major tawag nito, properties ang ating water. Your cohesion and adhesion. So for your cohesion, guys, it's the attraction of water to another water molecule. Okay? Ang cohesion, guys, for example, yung cohesion is what allows water to form clean, spherical droplets on a glass surface, and it creates surface tension strong enough for insects to walk on. Whereas your adhesion, it's the attraction of your water to other molecules. For example, yung adhesion causes water to climb up the internal walls of a graduated cylinder that forms a curved surface known as your meniscus. Yun siya. Okay? So, yeah, basically, that would be very much it. And, ang percentage ng water, guys, in our human body, it's around 60. 50 to 60. And it differs according to genders. Yeah. For the adult males, around 60% siya. Sorry. Around 60% sa guys, due to higher muscle mass. And for the adult females, it's around 50% due to naturally having a higher percentage of your body fat. So there are functions and properties of water. First one, it's to stabilize body temperature in two ways. In two ways, guys. Absorption of heat and your evaporation. Second is protection in two ways, as a lubricant and as a cushion. Okay? For your chemical reactions, kailangan rin siya. Yung dehydration natin, guys, those are synthesis reactions that produces water, and your hydrolysis, and which is your decomposition reactions that requires water. And for your mixing medium, your mixtures, guys, that's a physical combination of two or more direct or distinct substances that are blended together without undergoing a chemical reaction. Okay? Physically blended siya. Because, guys, sa mixtures, no chemical bonds are created or broken. Each individual substance, they retain its own original chemical properties and identity. For example, yung mixtures natin, macaroni salad, handful of sand and gravel, dry atmospheric air. Those are mixtures. For your solutions, that is a specific type of your mixture. Yeah. Or shall we say, homogeneous mixture, to be exact, where one or more substances are completely and evenly dissolved, uniformly distributed, guys, down to the molecular level within another substance. Dapat yung result natin, ito. Okay, for example, yung spoonful of sugar, pag ihalo natin siya sa warm water, hindi man siya pareha ng oil na lulutang siya. Mahalo siya mismo sa water. And that's the solution. For the solute, guys, yun yung siya yung dinidissolve natin. Yung, for example, inom tayo ng kape, guys. Inom tayo ng kape. Yung kape yung ating solute. Yung warm water, that's the solvent. Okay? Therefore, your solvent, that's the dissolving medium. Yeah. Yung ano natin, suspension natin, hindi yung punishment, ha? Yung suspension, that's a mixture containing the materials that separate from each other unless they are continually physically mixed together. Like your blood. Yeah, your blood. Yes po. Yeah, like yung shaken bottle of oil and vinegar dressing, pwede siya. Your colloid, guys. Your colloid, that's a unique mixture in which a dispersed substance or particle is unevenly distributed through the mixture. For example, your homogenized milk, shaving cream, liquid gelatin. Those are your everyday colloids. For your solution concentrations, yun na yun siya, yung quantitative measurement of exactly how much solute is dissolved in a specific volume of your solvent or total solution. For example, yung medical saline natin, that is often prepared at a precise concentration of 0.9% sodium chloride to match the natural fluids in the human body. Okay? For your osmol, that's the Avogadro's number of particles yeah, of a substance in 1 kilogram of water. For example, 1 mole of table salt dissolves into 1 mole of sodium ions, and 1 mole of chloride ions equals 2 osmoles of total particles. And in addition, guys, yung osmol natin, yeah, it accounts for the fact, guys, that some compounds split into multiple separate pieces when dissolved while others remain intact. And yun siya. Ano siya? That quantifies the total number of moles of chemically active solute particles that contribute to the solution's osmotic pressure. Yun siya. For your osmolality, that reflects the number and not the type of your particles in a solution. Yung serum osmolality, guys, if the body is currently dehydrated and overhydrated. That's one of the best examples. And your milliosmol, that's a tiny subunit of your osmotic measurement. That's 1,000th of an osmol. Okay? Your acid, yeah. An acid, guys, that's a proton donor. An acid is a hydrogen-containing substance that is capable of donating a proton, usually hydrogen atom or ions, okay, to another substance in a reaction. Because, guys, pag ang acids, when dissolved in water, acids increase the total concentration of your free hydrogen ions that results in a sour taste and a low pH value. For example, acid, hydrochloric acid, guys, alam natin yan. Oo. And even citric acid na nasa lemons. For the base, that's a proton acceptor. Oo. Proton acceptor siya, guys. It's a substance that can accept hydrogen ions or donate hydroxide ions when dissolved in an aqueous solution, because your bases work, guys, to decrease the concentration of your free hydrogen ions in the fluid, giving them a bitter taste and a slippery texture. For example, your sodium hydroxide, guys, that's commonly found in your drain cleaners and your baking soda. Those are your bases, guys. And your pH, guys, your pH, another term, it's your potential of hydrogen, guys. Your pH, that's the quantitative measure of the acidity or basicity of a solution. And your scale, guys, ranges from 0 to 14. Okay? Another definition of your pH is a logarithmic measurement, guys, that is used to specify the exact acidity or alkalinity of an aqueous solution based on its hydrogen ion concentration. Okay? Pagbaba, higher ang acidity. Pag mataas, guys, higher ang ating basicity or alkalinity. Yung pure water natin, neutral siya, guys. Nasa 7 yan siya. pH 7, kumbaga. Equal concentrations, guys, of your hydrogen and your hydroxide. Ito siya, guys. Yan. Sige. Basahin nyo na lang. So, yeah. For your pH 0, which is equivalent to 1 times 10 to the power of 0 moles per liter, your battery acid, which is composed of your sulfuric acid. Your pH 1. 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 1 moles per liter. Your hydrochloric acid or your gastric acid. Your pH 2 with this formula, which is your lemon and lime juice. Your vinegar, which is composed of your acetic acid. Your pH 3, which is this formula, which is found in soda, grapefruit, and orange juice. For your pH 4, which is 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4 moles per liter, which is seen in tomato juice, acid rain, and even beer. Oh, is mga palainom dyan. Yeah. Your pH 5, which is 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 5 moles per liter, black coffee. Makikita yun siya dyan. pH 6, 1 times 10 raised to the power of 6 moles per liter, which is your milk, saliva, and urine. Okay? Your pH 7, which is 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 7 moles per liter. Your pure water, and even your blood, because our blood is 7.4. Kaya gani yun, 7.35 to 7.45, that's your blood pH. Normal blood pH levels, by the way. Your pH 8, that's 1 raised to the power, 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 8 moles per liter, which is into seawater, baking soda, yeah, which is your sodium bicarbonate. Your pH 9, nakikita natin sa toothpaste, because, yeah, this one, 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 9 moles per liter, that's a computation. And for the pH 10, 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 10 moles per liter, which is your milk of magnesia, which is your magnesium hydroxide, and even antacids. Antacids, guys, we already know, those are drugs, medications that are used to, yung nakapa-neutralize ng acid level sa ating stomach, especially when ulcers happen, mga things like that. Oo. Ganun yun siya, guys. Oo. So for your pH 11, 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 11 moles per liter, which is found in your household cleaners, usually ammonia solutions. pH 12, it's 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 12 moles per liter, which is found in your soapy water and hair relaxers. pH 13, that's 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 13 moles per liter, which is found in your bleach, which is composed of your sodium hypochlorite, and even your oven cleaners. 14 pH, or pH 14, which is 1 times 10 raised to the power of negative 14 moles per liter, liter, sorry na, tao lang. Which is your liquid drain cleaners, that's found in your liquid drain cleaners, which is composed of your sodium hydroxide. Yung sinabi ko kanina, your normal blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Acidosis, blood pH is less than this one, 7.35. Ang characteristics is nervous system depressed and patient is disoriented or comatose. Alkalosis, blood pH is higher than 7.45. Characteristics, nervous system is overexcitable and patient may cause or have convulsions. Opo. Yes. Opo. Yes. Ayun, even alkalosis, guys, yung hyperventilating, guys, during an intense anxiety attack that causes a rapid loss of carbon dioxide that results in your respiratory alkalosis. Okay. Your salt, guys, a salt is salt. Try lang. A salt, guys, is an ionic compound produced by the neutralization reaction between an acid and a base that consists of a collection of your cations and an ion. And when dissolved in water, guys, these crystalline compounds dissociate completely into individual ions that carry an electrical current. For example, your potassium chloride and your calcium carbonate, your potassium chloride, your KCl, and your calcium carbonate, it's CaCO3, are common chemical salts, guys, that are used in medicine and industry. Your buffers. Okay, your buffers, guys. Dito muna tayo sa buffers, guys. Buffer. The buffers, guys, are specialized chemical solutions that's typically consisting of a weak acid and its conjugate base that resists drastic changes in your pH. Okay? When small amounts of acid or base are added, and your buffers act as chemical shock absorbers, guys, by soaking up or releasing hydrogen ions as needed to maintain stability. Okay. For example, guys, yung carbonic acid bicarbonate buffer system natin. Dito muna tayo sa ating tawag nito, yung space natin. Sige, mag-pen muna tayo. And ito. Bakit sinabi rin natin na the bicarbonate buffer system, that's the tawag nito, examples ng ating buffer. Because guys, your bicarbonate buffer system, that is an essential homeostatic mechanism that maintains the pH of your human blood with a tight life-sustaining range of 7.35 to 7.45. And guys, it relies on a reversible. Alam natin ang reversible, pwede siya dito, pwede siya dito. Okay? Your reversible equilibrium, ganito siya guys. Your carbon dioxide when added with water, it will become your carbonic acid, which is your H2CO3. And your carbonic acid guys may disintegrate into your hydrogen ions and your bicarbonate ions. Ganyan yan siya. Reversible reactions. Pag ito guys, yan siya. Balik siya sa carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, it disintegrates into this kind of things. Pareha lang yan siya guys. Okay? Pero paano guys? Paano na-create itong or paano mag-ooperate ang ating bicarbonate buffer system? First and foremost, alisin muna natin to. Alisin muna natin to guys. Alisin natin for a while. Perfect. Okay. So the very first tawag nito, yung mechanism natin on how this bicarbonate, it neutralizes excess acid. Excess acid. Okay? Which lowers your hydrogen ion concentration, guys. Because when metabolic processes dump excess hydrogen ions into the bloodstream, as for example, your lactic acid during intense exercise, your blood becomes too acidic. Ang response natin dito, guys, ang response na ito sa number 1, your abundant bicarbonate ions act as a weak base po, and bind to the excess hydrogen. Okay? And bind to the excess hydrogen. Okay? And ang resulta natin guys, pag ito siya, that shifts the equilibrium to the left. That converts the dangerous free acid into weak carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, H2CO3. Okay? Which is then broken down into your water and carbon dioxide gas. The second response or the mechanism, kumbaga, it's the neutralization of your excess base, okay, which raises your hydrogen ion concentration. Because if a basic substance, guys, enters the bloodstream, or if there's a severe loss of acid, the blood becomes too alkaline. Okay? Ang response dito, guys, your weak carbonic acid dissociates, guys, splits apart to act as a weak acid, and it donates what ions, guys? Hydrogen ions into the fluid. Ang resulta natin, guys, it shifts the equilibrium to the right, which releases your hydrogen ions to neutralize the excess base and pulling the pH safely back down. Kasi nga, too much is nakakalason, kumbaga, or too much is toxic, too little is toxic. So, you have to stabilize, neutralize things up. Ganun yun siya. And, for your physiological regulation ng ating bicarbonate system, let me remove these things first. Okay. So yeah, the physiological regulation, guys, nasa lungs and kidneys natin yan, guys. Because your chemical buffer system, it does not work in isolation. Okay? Kailangan nito yung respiratory and renal systems natin, guys, to eliminate waste products and maintain the necessary raw materials. Ito, first body system that you really need in this bicarbonate system, is your lungs. Because the lungs handle the left side of the equation by controlling your carbon dioxide. If the blood becomes too acidic, aray ka, pakak, the brain signals the lungs to increase the respiratory rate, which results in your hyperventilation, which exhales excess carbon dioxide and rapidly pulls acid out of the blood. Yun siya is for the lungs. Again, for the lungs handle the left side of the equation by controlling carbon dioxide, but if the blood becomes too acidic, the brain signals the lungs to increase the RR, or your hyperventilation, which exhales excess carbon dioxide and rapidly pulls out of the blood the acid, by the way. The second part, or the second body system that you need, is your kidneys. Your kidneys, they manage, guys, the right side. Bakit, guys, ginamanage ng kidneys ang right side of the equation? Because they selectively reabsorb filtered bicarbonate. Bicarbonate. Okay? Back into the bloodstream, or i-excrete ng ating kidneys ang excess hydrogen ions into the urine that maintains a massive cellular reserve of the weak base. Okay? Gets natin ang ang tinatawag natin dito, the buffer system? Yes, the buffer system. Okay. Yeah. Balik tayo. Yung conjugate acid and conjugate base natin, for example, dito naman tayo sa conjugate acid. Yung conjugate acid, guys, when the chemical, ganito siya. Yung conjugate acid, guys, that's a chemical species formed immediately after, balik tayo sa laser pointer, after a base accepts a proton, during a chemical reaction, and it differs from the original base by only a single added hydrogen ion that is capable of turning back into the base by losing the proton. For example, when an ammonium molecule accepts a proton, it transforms into its conjugate acid, the ammonium ion. Okay? From ammonium na NH3, nadagdagan si proton, nagiging NH4. May positive na dito. Okay? Whereas, your conjugate base, that is a chemical species that remains after an acid has successfully donated its proton during a reaction. And the newly formed particle is now capable of acting as a base by re-accepting a proton. Okay? Re-accepting a proton pag conjugate base. Okay? And, re-accepting a proton, guys, to revert back to its original acid form. Okay? For example, when your acetic acid, guys, acetic acid, it's CH3COOH. That's the formula. Okay? Pag i-donate si hydrogen, guys, i-crush out man natin si hydrogen. Wala na si hydrogen. Ang conjugate base natin, yung acetate ion. So, CH3COOH, dinonate natin si hydrogen ion, ganito na lang siya ngayon. COO with a negative sign. Yun siya. Okay? And, malapit na tayo. For the essential biological gases, guys, for your oxygen, we already know it's a highly reactive diatomic gas that roughly makes up 21% of the Earth's atmosphere. Sige, guys, ganito. Ang sa Earth's atmosphere, guys, ang oxygen natin, it's 20.94%. Wow! And we already know it's colorless, it's odorless. Because it's our need to breathe, guys. We breathe oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. And it's fundamentally required by aerobic organisms like us to drive cellular respiration and synthesize your ATP. For your energy. Okay? Undo ko muna, okay? And lastly, your carbon dioxide, that's a colorless gas, guys. Colorless gas, we already know. Isang carbon atom, dalawang oxygen atoms. Okay? Paano ba to? Yan, laser pointer. Okay. Your carbon dioxide gas, that's a colorless gas composed of one carbon atom double bonded to two oxygen atoms that occurs naturally as a minor component of your Earth's atmosphere, and that's produced as a primary waste product during cellular respiration in animals and is utilized by plants to perform photosynthesis. Diba? We inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Your plants inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Parang siyang it's a, tawag nito, mutualism. Oo. Mutualism ang tawag niyan sa symbiotic relationships. Basta yun na yun siya. Nabe-benefit ang mga plants, nabe-benefit rin tayo with that. Oo. Because, guys, your human cells continuously dump carbon dioxide into the bloodstream to be carried to the lungs and exhaled into the air, which will be received by your plants because your plants will use carbon dioxide for their photosynthesis and stuff. Okay? So yun, that will be very much it for now. This is the part 2. This is part 2 of your Anafi anthology. Yes, I guess may part 3 pa to. May part 3 pa ito. Tapusin ko lang itong slides ko and yung notes ko. Then I can film it right away and then matapos na ito. Kasi may part 3 pa ako nito. Yun ang isa-start ko pa lang. Yun ang isa-start ko pa lang which later na yan. Hindi pa tayo tapos. May amino acids pa tayo, may carbohydrates pa tayo. So babalik tayo ng biochem. Biochem guys. Biochem. The one that I hate nung first sem. Pero it started to grow on me ngayon ng second sem. Kasi nga there are a lot of carbohydrates, lot of proteins, lot of enzymes na kailangan namin studyhin. Nurses tayo eh. Nursing students tayo eh. So, ayun. That would be very much it, guys. So, yeah. Thank you for listening. Ano ito? Podcast? Podcast. No. It's not a podcast. It's a video cast. Ay, nakaimbentong guwapo. Arr. Meow. So, yun. I'm just acting silly here. Tawang-tawa ko sa sarili kong joke kanina. So, yun. That will be very much it. It's Joseph again, your licensed teacher by profession and a student nurse as well. Yes, you know that, guys. Laban tayo sa life, guys. And drink water. And take care of yourself. And wala nag-take sa akin. Ako, tinake rin ako, guys. Tinake for granted. Aray mo. Pakak. So, yun. Guys. Take care of yourselves, guys. As I do sa inyo. Take care of yourself. Eat 3 times a day. Love yourself. Sa mga single dyan like me. Basta yun. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Babu. Yeah. Bye-bye. See you on part 3 Part 3. May part 3 pa to. Okay. Bye-bye.